Well, I'm on the phone with Coach Mark Shields, the head coach of the MDI Trojans. And, Coach, game day, bonus football tonight, quarterfinals against the John Bapst Crusaders.
Yep, definitely, Chris. Every team, starts the season thinking, one of your main goals is to get yourselves, into the playoffs. And we definitely came in this season feeling pretty good that we would have an opportunity to get in, and our guys played hard this season and earned that right to play that quarterfinal tonight. So excited about that.
Yeah, we haven't you haven't faced the John Bapst Crusaders yet this year, but remembering them from a year ago, they're a powerful team. They've got J.J. Higgins as quarterback, who likes to throw. He likes to run. They average about 5-point-some yards per rush. They're a big team that have the potential for making some big plays.
No doubt about it. They're a scary team. They're a team that has improved significantly since the last season. You can tell those guys committed themselves in the off season to getting better, and their coaches, Dan O'Connell and Haggy Pratt, have done an amazing job getting those guys ready to go each week. And, like we talked about on Monday, you look at their record and they're 3-5. But, they are a good football team. And you're right, the Higgins kid is as good as they get. I'm super impressed with him. Our coaching staff has been impressed with him all week, looking at him on tape. They have a super fast fullback they put behind him, and then they run an option game off of all that. So they have some speedy guys that they can pitch the ball to, and they can throw and catch. So this is going to be a tough game, and I get frustrated as a head coach because, I'll hear people say, oh, it's a 1-8 matchup, Coach. I don't even know if we're going to come out and watch this game. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good football game. We've been preaching to our kids all week that this game, could knock us out. There's no tomorrow. If we come out tonight and get outplayed by John Bapst, and that could definitely happen, our season's over. I told the kids, I said, we'll be collecting equipment on Monday. It's as quick as that. So I think our guys take that seriously. They've worked hard all week. We were fortunate we were able to get up on the field. We didn't have to practice in the gym at all this week.
Really? So you were able to get out in the rain and everything?
Yep. So Wednesday it rained while we were out there. We did get pretty wet, but we got through practice. And then yesterday, being Thursday, we were out there for our entire pregame. It just stopped for 2 hours so we could get our practice in, and so we were able to get through everything we needed to for our pregame practice. So that excuse me, that was great. So yeah, no, this is a huge game, and I talked to the kids a lot last night about you can throw records out the window, you can throw scores out the window. It does not matter. Seeds, number 1, number 8. If you don't get it done that night, you go home and the other team advances, and it's as simple as that. So, it's a big night for us for sure.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their stats. So his stats: Jack Dalton, 74 carries, 550 yards. J.J. Higgins, our quarterback, 75 carries, 390 yards, and Higgins passing was 35 of 79, 632 yards. So, 632 yards in Class C, it puts him up one of the top passers in terms of yardage.
Yeah, for sure, and it just shows you read those stats, and it just goes to show you what a balanced attack they have as well. You just can't key on one guy, and that's a sign of a good football team. That's what all teams want. They want that diversity in their offense. That's what we strive for in our offense. To make teams try to stop multiple guys, and that's what you have to do against this team. You have to try to stop multiple guys, and so you have to play disciplined defense. And if you don't, you're going to be disappointed by the end of the night. So, they're a handful, and it's going to be a tough game tonight.
They've got a couple studs on defense. Reed Kaya, who is number 24, 41 solo tackles, 44 assists, 2 interceptions. And then Noah Scanlon, number 65, 33 solo tackles, 30 assists, and 2.5 sacks. So I mean, they like to pressure the ball. I mean, they've got 9.5 sacks on the season.
Yep, for sure, and they swarm well to the ball defensively. You can see that on tape. You know, you can tell these guys are very well coached. You know, and they'll be well coached this week, and they'll give us everything they possibly have.
So, what do you do to take on the Crusaders? I mean, you know, is it more of the same? You look for those big plays, the long sustained drives, throw in some passes. I mean, have I got the game plan down, or you know, what is up your sleeve?
Yeah. So for us this week, you know, like any week, obviously you can't be turning the football over. Talked to the kids about that last night. You know, if you want to lose a playoff game, start putting the ball on the ground. If you want to lose a playoff game, start having special teams mistakes, and you're going to struggle. So we've worked hard on that this week. You know, for us...
Let me just interrupt you for once. I mean, for the most part, you've been very good at terms of protecting the ball. I mean, there was, I think, a fumble last week, and but other than that, outside of the Winslow game, you've been very protective of the ball.
Yeah, and that's, you know, like I said, that's something we definitely work on. We talk about that a lot. You know, talk to the kids about keeping two hands on the football until you get to the second level. If you can get through the, you know, the line of scrimmage and past the linebackers, and then you're out on free, you know, field, then go ahead and put it in one hand and sprint, you know, to the end zone. But until you get to that point, you know, we don't want the kids to do that. So that is something that we have stressed for sure, and you know, hopefully that's true again tonight, that we do protect the football. But you know, it's no mystery what our team does. You know, what we try to do. We are a ground control team, but you know, we've had the good luck this year to have a strong passing game as well if we want it. Our quarterback, Andrew Phelps, is definitely throwing the ball well, and he's scrambling well, and we have some good receivers to catch the ball. So, you know, for us, it's, you know, try to do what we do. And I think, you know, obviously we got to move the ball and score touchdowns, but defensively is where we've really put a lot of our focus this week, trying to stop what they do. And John Bapst, you know, as we keep talking about, they run this triple option, and which is a great offense to run because it, you know, forces your defense to play discipline, responsibility defense. And if you know, you have to have a guy on the fullback, you have to have a guy on the quarterback, and you have to have a guy on the pitch man every play, or you're going to have troubles. Because if they give it to a guy that you don't have someone on, sorry, that guy's going to pick up some big yards.
Yeah.
So defensively, we've invested a lot of time this week trying to stop what they want to do, and of course they have the athletes that make, you know, they have big play capability. So, you know, for us defensively, we have to try to limit what they do. They're going to pick up some yards tonight. That's what they do. They have done that, and but we sort of got to be that bend but don't break defense. You know, if they get a big play, we got to get back in the huddle and regroup and get back after the next play, and then once again try not to have any special teams mistakes. You know, you start, you know, whatever, block punt or kickoff return or punt return, what have you. Those are game changers. We all know that,
right.
And that those can lose football games. And you know, this could be a game where late in the fourth quarter, it's a dogfight. I truly believe that.
It's somewhat surprising, I guess, to realize that MDI was the leading scorer in terms of points in Class C North, especially given the fact that in a lot of the games you geared down in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we do have that capability. You know, we have some guys that they get a half a step on you and they're gone. I mean, we've seen that. I mean, we definitely know that Kobe Lee can do that. We found out last week that Andrew Phelps can do that as well. Billy Curley can do that. You know, we just, and then you got Croy Albee, who
Croy wants to hit a few people before he does that.
Yeah, he just soon run over you and try to juke and go by you. So, you know, and once again, I believe that has a lot to do with the diversity of our offense, knowing that you have 4 guys back there that could potentially get the ball and be successful. Once again, it forces teams that we play to play responsibility football. You know, they can't key on one guy because another guy is going to beat you. So, you know, that's really important for us, and we work hard on that, trying to, you know, share the ball with different guys and, you know, get the ball to our playmakers, and, you know, it's paid off this season for sure.
There are a lot of tough matchups this week. I mean, you look at Class C North, and I mean, looking at the quarterfinals, I don't see any of them being huge blowouts. I mean, you got MCI and Nokomis. I mean, that's going to be a huge matchup tomorrow afternoon. Waterville at Winslow tomorrow afternoon. Yes, Waterville is peaking at that right time, and Winslow they've got an axe to grind. And then, of course, the other game tonight, which if MDI is lucky enough to get past Bapst tonight, is Oceanside at Herman, and both of those two teams are very dangerous.
Yeah, like we said on Monday, I really wouldn't want to have to try to predict you know, who's going to win these football games, because there's so many quality teams in our conference. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. And, you know, like you said, even that Waterville-Winslow matchup where you say, well, that's 2-7, like we're 1-8. I'm sure Winslow's not down there this week saying, oh, we're going to roll these guys.
Right.
You know, they know that they have a good opponent that's coming to them. And, it's, you know, once again, it's a rivalry game for them, so that adds a whole new level, you know, of intensity and anxiety and excitement. So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be some great games, and fortunately we'll be able to see some of them on tape. But, I mean, the Herman-Oceanside game, holy cow. I mean, how can you predict that? It's at Herman. It's their first playoff game ever. They're going to be super excited. Half the town's going to be there. And then you bring in one of the best teams in our conference, you know, Oceanside, who, you know, those guys, they're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge, and right now they have the top running back as far as yardage.
Michael Norton.
Yeah, in the backfield. So, I mean, that's just a great game, and you're right. And then you got, you know, Nokomis and MCI beat them at MCI, but Nokomis, that was, you know, weeks ago, and now they got to go to Nokomis, and Nokomis is playing better, and
what a rivalry that is. I mean, you know, you got the neighboring towns, the Newport area against Pittsfield. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better rivalry there.
No, I mean, those fields are literally probably 15 miles apart, I think. I mean, it's pretty close. So, yeah, so it's an exciting time of year for sure for football fans, for all the programs, and you know, it should be a fun night.
Well, as the number 1 seed, you've got the playoff home field. What do you mean? You need to have those stands just packed tonight.
Definitely. You know, we've had great support. You know, we've had great support for years, but and this year, you know, still the same. We have, you know, people come out and watch us play and support us, and yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we get a huge crowd out here. I do believe this is going to be a great football game. You know, totally dismiss the people who say, it's a 1-8 matchup, it's going to be a blowout. It's not. It's going to be a really close football game, and we're going to need everybody we can to get out here and help us beat this team. So if you can come out, please do, and cheer loudly if you can. I'm
hoping that the T-Rex is going to, you know, honestly, making another appearance. I love when dinosaurs come to the game.
Yeah, that's kind of frightening, actually. So that's good. Yeah, yeah. If T-Rex shows up, we're in good shape.
All right. You want the ball, or you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I know. You ask me every Friday, and
I know, and you hedge and lie to me every week. So
yeah, no, I'm not lying. I honestly don't know. I've been thinking about it, and I usually ask Andrew Phelps. He's the guy I ask, and whatever he says, I usually go with. So, knowing him being the quarterback of the team, I bet he's going to say, "Take the ball, coach." But we'll see what happens tonight.
Have you been up to the field today? I mean, I know there was some rain overnight, but I got to believe that field is in probably the best shape of the season now with the rain, although there is a middle school soccer game ahead of the game tonight.
Yeah, so I got to go out. I'm actually going to go out here after this interview and walk around a little bit and see if it's squishy anywhere. And I know the practice field, even after the first day of rain, we went out there and it had absorbed a lot of it. I mean, there was a little bit of standing water, but I have to imagine the field's going to be in great shape tonight.
All right, make it easier to land on the field as opposed to the cement that it was.
Definitely, a little softer.
All right, Coach, best of luck. We'll see you down in Bar Harbor tonight.
All right, thanks, Chris. All right, thanks.